Hey there, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, friends, fans, and family. It's your favorite driver, Marshall, back on the Ghost Truck Stop Tour. Tonight, I'm at the Split, the 1020 Split. Some of you who know where this is will say, well, there's no truck stop there. There's not. But it's a famous place. Almost any driver that's driven for any length of time, you can tell them, well, I'll meet you at the Split, or I'm going to park at the Split, wake me up when you come through, and they know where you mean. They know you mean the 1020 Split, especially guys who ran this route a lot like I did over the years. An interesting anecdote about the Split was that for many years there was a lady of the evening. I'm not going to call her a lot lizard because she was no $20 hooker. And her CB handle was Chantilly Lace. And she was damn good looking. And she had some particular rules. Let's call them that way. Number one, she only worked the westbound side. Number two, she was only out here at night, and usually on the weekend nights. She did come out here a few times over the years during the weekdays, but usually it was because it was like a holiday or something. One of her other rules was she would only do guys in conventionals. She would not get up in a cab over. Now, don't anybody take this as a racist comment or anything, but she also wouldn't go with black men, and I will explain why as the story goes on. And her final rule and most important rule was you had to be clean and your truck had to be clean. If she got a whiff of body odor, if your trunk stuck, she'd make a U-turn and walk away, and there was no getting her back. And she'd never get back up in your truck again. So she was particular, but she was worth it. Now, to explain the reasoning for all of this is, a lot of guys used to think that her pimp brought her out here. It wasn't her pimp. It was her husband. He had a problem. He was on a bag. He had gone to Vietnam and got shot up, and he didn't function down there anymore, and she was a few years younger than him and a girl who liked sex. I often think that she really wasn't out here for the money. She was out here because she enjoyed the sex, and it was the only way she could get it. Because he couldn't perform anymore. It wasn't his fault, it was the war. So anyhow, she actually had a full-time job. Most people don't know this or didn't know this. She was a nurse over in Pecos, Texas. And that's another reason why she was only out here a few nights out of the week. She had to work. Her reason for only being on the westbound side, only doing conventionals and only doing white guys, was because she was on the eastbound side one time working. Got up in a cab over with a black guy and couldn't get out of the truck, and he beat her up pretty good one night. And her husband couldn't see, couldn't tell what was going on, and couldn't come to her aid in any way. So henceforth after that, she wouldn't do black guys, and she wouldn't get in a cab over, and she'd only do the westbound side. Now, to tell you how dedicated a lot of guys were about stopping to see her, I knew plenty of guys who pulled in here at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning and waited till after 10 or 11 o'clock at night when she would normally be out here just to see her. And like I say, she had some very special talents. Without getting too crude, and I'm not just talking oral talents, she had those too, but I asked her how she developed this. I got to know her pretty good. In fact, I still know her. Talk to her once in a while. I haven't talked to her in 2 or 3 years, but anyhow, she could, it was like she had a third hand, let's put it that way. She could tighten up down there, and you actually thought somebody was getting a hold of you with a grip. That's how tight she could get it down there. And I asked her about it one time, how she developed that, and she said it started as a teenager. She learned how to stop from peeing. She'd be on the pot, stop to pee, start to pee, stop to pee, and that's how she developed the muscles down there. True or not, I do not know, but I know she had the muscles. And she was good looking, she was fun, She was always clean, and she was never in a hurry. Like I say, I think she pretty much enjoyed it as much as any of the drivers ever did. She had a pretty consistent and steady clientele, a lot of the same people. I ran a regular route in those days back and forth across I-10, so I could pretty well tell her ahead of time when I was going to be back again. So, anyhow, the reason it's a ghost story is because to this day, I don't have a CB, but I understand from a lot of guys, they'll hear old-time drivers coming out here to the split and hollering for her on the radio. She hasn't been here in years. She moved from Pecos. She got another job up by Wichita Falls. And a few years back, her husband finally passed away, and she moved on up by Topeka, Kansas now is where she's at. You won't find her on my friends list. She and I are old friends. Like I say, we talk every few years or so. She'll give me a call, and we'll just talk about old times and stuff. I think she has remarried and has a couple of kids now, if I recall right. So, this is the story of Chantilly Lace. And in a minute, I'm going to step outside because another story that goes on is that if you stop in here at the split late at night like this, you sometimes, on the wind, will hear drivers off in the distance saying, "Chantilly Lace, how about that Chantilly Lace? How about that Chantilly Lace with the pretty face? Are you out there at the split? How about a Chantilly Lace? You got a copy?" Now, I have thought I heard it a couple of times and figured it was just my mind playing tricks with me, but I can't say for a fact that I really have heard it. But anything's possible. So I'm going to step out, and when I step out, I'll pan around out here so you can see where we're at, what you can see in the dark, and hopefully we'll hear, maybe not. It may just be the wind blowing, I don't know, or the tires running on the highway. It's hard to tell these things sometimes, but I'm going to step out now, and we'll go out and see what we've got going on. I'll try and kind of stay here in the light from the truck so you can see me. But I'm going to pan out here. It's nighttime. I suppose it's probably just pitch black. There's a few trucks parked out here. They're traveling down the highway and going along on the interstate here. I'll get quiet, see if we can hear it out there in the distance. Did you hear that? I'm going to try it one more time, see if I can get some light here where you can see me. I don't want you to think that it's me doing that, because I just heard it. I swear I just heard that. All right, there's a little light. You can see me now. Let's see if we can hear it. I'll be damned. I hope you heard that, because you really can hear it when you're out here. I wish this camera was good enough to show you too. The stars out here are spectacular. I mean, it is just beautiful. I'm gonna get a camera one of these days that's capable of seeing this stuff at night, but I mean, it is just fantastic. A little spooky though. There we go. A little spooky though that you really can hear that on the wind out here. So, this is Marshall, your hero. I'm gonna sign off now. Little trucks going on by. Chantilly Lace with the pretty face. We're still out here looking for her all these years. All right, gang. Motor safe. Enjoy the ride. And that's tonight's ghost story. Take care.